Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Adulting with Mr. Welch. But here today we have a special surprise. It's not just Adulting with Mr. Welch, it's Adulting with Mr. Welch and his daughter Soraya. Say hi, Soraya. Hi. All right. Today we are going to do some very special adulting that doesn't get enough recognition, and it's making a grilled cheese sandwich. Now, there's some things you need to understand about making grilled cheese sandwiches. You can always tell how good you are based on how you make them and what tools you're using. Okay? If you use a small frying pan, this means one thing, or well, one of two things. Either one, you're bad at making them, so they don't taste very good. You only ever want one. Or second option, you are lonely and don't have anyone to share with. That's not what we want here. We want to make grilled cheese so good that we either have to use a big skillet like this over here, or we're at the stove cooking all night because, man, we just can't crank them out fast enough. Now, there are going to be times when you live in an apartment or a house where maybe you don't have a nice stove to grill on, or you don't have a nice griddle. So when you have that situation, all you have is an outlet. There's this thing called a sandwich maker. What it does, it actually allows you to make two at a time. This way, you can lay, one in this side and one on this side, and you smash it. Now, notice it creates those nice triangle shapes. It does not cut them in halves. Okay, so they do come stuck together. I actually don't like it because it creates a hard, rigid piece right in the middle, and then along the crust. It's just not as good. That being said, if you suck at this after a couple of tries, you still can't make a grilled cheese sandwich right, or you just don't have time to toast bread with cheese on it, which I don't know how you don't have time for that. There is this option. Again, you can make two at a time. We have it based on the fact that it was a wedding gift. We used it for a long time, but then we grew up, became adults, and learned how to grill cheese the right way. Okay, so you need to get your ingredients together. First thing you're going to need is bread. Now, I'm going to tell you, if you want a nice, crisp, golden brown grilled cheese sandwich, cheap white bread is probably the best. It grills up real nice. Love that stuff. Okay. Second thing we're gonna need. Technically, you can use butter or margarine. I'm a big believer we're gonna use butter. It's gonna be better. It is a little bit more expensive, so if you're cheap, definitely go the margarine route. I will say this: if you're gonna grill cheese, you've got to make sure that your butter is warm. If you're pulling it out of the fridge, give up. Move on to something else because you're just gonna destroy the bread. It's no good, right? All right. And cheese. I'm not a big fan of grated cheese in a grilled cheese sandwich. Sliced cheese is nice, but I'm also, I can slice it by hand. It's not like it's that hard. Growing up, I was a Kraft singles guy. That's how grilled cheese was, and I still think that's one of the best ways to have grilled cheese, but we've grown up. My wife says we need to be grown-ups and use grilled cheese. So we use the singles there. All right, so we'll be back to you in just a second. We're going to set all our stuff up, get our griddle going hot, and stuff like that. So bear with us. Okay, so we're back. We've got our skillet getting pretty hot here. Medium high. You want it to be pretty warm so that you can really get the butter to toast. But you don't want the cheese to melt until it's been brown. See, you got a little bit of a balance game. If you cook it too high, you'll burn all the butter, and then your cheese won't melt. So you got to make sure you critique this. One suggestion I have for you: never cook yours first. Cook somebody else's first in case it goes bad. Like, oh, hey, do you want a sandwich? And I'm going to make a perfect one now because I know what the temperature set it should be. Honestly, it's a feel thing. It's an art, right? Okay, so this is how I prep all my stuff so that I don't have to be doing it as I go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some butter, spread it on one side. Now, this is Mr. Welch thinking ahead. I'm going to put this butter side face up. I'm going to get the other slice of bread, okay? And I'm going to spread some butter on this, and I'm going to do the butter side down. So my two sides of butter are sticking to each other just for the moment, and then we can put our cheese on top. Now I'm all ready to go. I'll take the piece with the butter down and the cheese, set that right on there, and then bring the other butter piece up. So that way I've got butter on the outsides, but I can pre-build, a dozen of these and just have them sitting there ready to go as soon as I'm ready. I think we're ready. We're going to go ahead and put these down. Again, we just kind of stick the bottom with our butter down, and then our next piece. Next. All right. So we're gonna let these start grilling. Check them periodically every couple of minutes to make sure that they're browning properly. If they're getting too hot or too dark too fast, definitely want to slow down the heat. You just kind of check on them and turn on some sweet music or something so you have something to do while you're waiting. Watch some more Mr. Welch videos. All right, guys, now we're gonna finish up our video on making the perfect grilled cheese sandwich. But we've got to introduce this ingredient. We've got butter, we've got bread, we've got cheese. It's gonna be delicious. However, if you're doing the accelerated course, you know, the extra credit course, there is a way to make it just a little over the top. So, why don't you tell us about our special ingredient we're going to use? Bacon bits. Very good. Now, don't go and get the bacon bits that are come in the shaker that are all hard and crunchy. No. We want the real bacon pieces. Kind that come in a bag that say, you know, keep refrigerated after opening. Little bacon crumbled, soft stuff. That's just perfect, right? Okay, so the way we're going to add these in, we don't want to add them and then have them just falling out of the sandwich. So we don't want to add them until we're doing the flip of the bread. So I think we're getting pretty close. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to take the top layer off. Now it's starting to, look at that, the cheese is melting. Let's take a look at that. Boom, cheese starting to stick to the bread. That tells us we're at perfect timing. Because now what we're going to do is we're going to flip that piece over, just the top. Go ahead, Sarai. We're going to add our bacon onto that dry piece of bread where we're about to stick our cheese. She's a little heavy-handed with the bacon. She can see bread. She doesn't have enough. Okay. Now we're going to take our piece of cheese that is very ooey-gooey, and we're going to fold that right over on top of our bacon. Now, because our cheese is all melty, the bacon can stick in there really, really well. Well, guys, we're just going to let it cook for another minute or so, and then eat. Now, I will say, I didn't grow up being the person who always had to have their sandwiches cut. Man, there is something nice about that nice diagonal cut. So feel free to cut it into triangles and enjoy your sandwich. Thanks for coming and joining me and Soraya for another Adulting with Mr. Welch video. We'll see you next time.